Sarathi. Good morning, all of you. Yes, it's time to sing because we have completed 50% of the portion. Yay! मैं तो गाना गाती हूँ, आप डांस भी कर सकते हैं. They have completed all the 5 heads of income: jumbo, business head, capital gain, house property, salary, and other source. Yes. Now what we are doing is also important, but it's great. If you have watched every video, so many of you are working and watching in evening and messaging me. Thank you so much. So many of you are writing final and saying these base level videos are helpful. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to receive all your messages. But promise me that you all are not using soft copy and you have this compiler on your table. Dipti ma'am आप ये रोज बोलते हैं. So it's really time to feel happy that it is 16th, 17th class today, and we have completed 5 heads of income. Moving forward, how we are going to do is today one single class coming 2 hours, clubbing of income, concept, question, answer, everything will be over. Tomorrow, one single class set of carry forward concept, understanding, learning, solving the problems plus minus will be over. Then we'll go to deductions and TDS. So this is how the classes are moving. Now, please take thoda sa dart. One thing very disappointing is so many of you have also enrolled for the GST live batch, which is going on in Zoom, no charges, but you have to register, fill up the form, and you all are attending live classes. Some of you are recommending to your friends, they are joining. Then I have seen so many students messaging me, ma'am, can we join only for input tax credit and value of supply and registration because I need only those chapters. Dear students, I know how each and every second is valuable for you also, for me also. My offline class for November students is waiting so that I can complete this and then go for the offline class, DTIDT. So same with me, same with you. 1 second also, I'm not going out of the way, not teaching anything extra. But of course, after saying 1.5 hours, definitely we all need a break. So 5 minutes break we are taking. Why I'm saying it is disappointing? I agree, as a student, you are confident that you know very well basics of supply and levy, and also directly you want to come for those classes. And it's not wrong, because every student knows that in GST, 8 marks question asked from ITC, 6 marks question from value of supply. So these 14 marks are done. But let me tell you, combos ka zamana hai. If they ask you the question from supply and then link it with the value of supply and then calculate on how much value the GST will be charged, what will you do, dear students? These are professional courses and I'm very sure I'll complete it in 30 days. So can I request all of you not to send me these kind of messages? I know मैंने आपको बोला है कि जो भी डाउट है क्लियर करो छोटा बड़ा, but ऐसा भी नहीं, not this. Even for direct tax, trust me, dear students, when I'll teach deductions, only 80C deduction I'm ready to teach for 2 hours. 80D, directly 80 TTA. So I'm going to teach weightage wise. I can understand that DT IDT is very vast. I'm saying I'm going to skip 80 I series all deductions. I'm not going to teach you. Take that risk of 2-3 months. So where we have to go fast, where we have to go slow, can you leave it to me? Yes, sure, you all trust me. Just you have trusted, so you are here. That's enough. Then leave it to Dipti ma'am. We will decide. But when I'm saying write it. Unless you don't give that importance to the supply section 7(1)(a), schedule 1, 2, 3, what they are, that output will not come in the linked chapters ahead. Okay, बस इतना 100 ग्राम ही डांटना था मैम. ये लास्ट में भी बोल सकते थे, क्या सुबह सुबह डांट खिला दिया आपने. Okay, right. Shall we start with clubbing of income? Nothing to read from your material. The concept of clubbing of income in the coming 15 minutes. I am writing it in the notebook. I would love if all of you can also write it. I've got so much feedback from November students who have cleared that clubbing and set off just by writing the booster notes with me. Ma'am, booster notes are printed, no? ये वाला print नहीं है. ये वाला print नहीं है. ठीक है? Right. कैमरा भी बोल रहा है अभी आप साइडलाइन हो जाओ और पढ़ाना शुरू करो तो कर देते हैं. Oh yes, yes, yes. Before we go on starting, because we have completed 5 heads of income, and this is the first year, dear students, that you all are going to get comparative problem. That is, calculate the tax as per default tax regime and calculate the tax as per normal tax regime. So because heads are over, can we just revise this? I'm in section 115 BAC. देख लो एक बार. दिखा सबको? And I'm not teaching you this whole. This is covered in the day 1 class. Very well covered in the day 1 class. Okay? हाँ, तो मैं ये नहीं पढ़ा रही हूँ. And anyone joined late and want to learn 115 BAC, please watch the tax amendment lecture 1, which is covering this quite in detail. Right now, if I file my return in the default tax regime 115 BAC, right, what is going to not be allowed? Okay, certain deductions, exemptions will not be allowed. Leave travel concession, yaad hai? First twins and single child, it will not be allowed. Okay, house rent allowance, rent paid minus 10% of salary will not be allowed if you go for default tax regime. It will be allowed if you go for normal tax regime, right? Exemption for special allowance, children education allowance and hostel and all will not be allowed. Can I receive some comments in the chat box? All of you watching live have already liked it. Thank you so much. So you trust कि मैं ऐसे पढ़ाती हूँ, आपको समझ में आ रहा है, तो जल्दी से कमेंट कर दो. We leave it to you, ma'am. What did I say? Leave to me. Don't put your minds कि क्या पढ़ाना है, कैसे पढ़ाना है. While watching the record also you comment, then the telegram is, I mean say the YouTube is boosting it. Chal. Daily allowance for MPs and MLAs are generally exempt. This we have studied in income from other sources. but it will become taxable here. Exemption in respect of income of minor child. Yes, minor child's income. You get exemption 1500 per child that you will not get if you file your return in default tax regime. Okay, tax holiday for SEZ which is linked with AMT, that you will not get. Now in 16, very important is standard deduction is allowed both in case of default tax regime, in case of normal tax regime, both standard deduction is allowed. Is this clear to all of you? Huh? Right? Transport allowance to handicap 3,200 per month is allowed. All the allowances which you get and you incur for office are exempt, that's allowed. But entertainment allowance, wherein you were getting deduction for government employee, will not be allowed. PT will not be allowed if you're filing your return in default. Now come to house property. Did we complete house property? Quality good questions we have done. Interest on loan in case of self-occupied house property, dear students. What happens that self-occupied house property, you can deduct the interest on loan if you have taken up to 2 lakh and up to 30,000 for repairs. That deduction will not be allowed if you go for default tax regime. Additional depreciation will not be allowed, which is given to manufacturers 20%. Scientific research will not be allowed. Investment linked incentives 35AD will not be allowed. And ATC to ATU, no deductions will be allowed in default tax regime except ATCCD 2, that is for pension, and ATCCH 2, that is Agniveer Corpus Fund, okay, and ATJJ. So like this, one or two deductions are allowed, rest nothing is allowed. See this comparative, ma'am, आप ये क्यों पढ़ा रहे हैं? 115 BAC we have done, and humble request to all of you, 14 marks is going to come. We have solved the problems also in writing comparative. So go and watch tax amendment first lecture, if not day one of this Sarathi fast track batch. Okay. So उसमें आपका cover हो जाएगा and it's going to come. Now let us begin with clubbing of income. This comparative now and then ask me to revise so that it's clear. Normal may you will get this like repetition. Okay. Chalo. Now, clubbing of income. Is this a head of income? No. Whatever income you get, you tax it under 5 head, salary, house property, business head, capital gain, other source. Khatam. Now what you get is called as your gross total income. But before that, so many times, others income is clubbed in my hands. How many of you have had club sandwich? Sandwich, फिर ये अब उसकी रेसिपी मत पूछो, इतना बड़ा रहता है club sandwich. You know, so like that, so many times, if I am a parent and I'm having children, then minor's income is clubbed in the hands of the parent. So minor, ma'am, how do minor can get income, right? They can have amount given to them by will, which they have put on FDs and interest and all. So minor's income is clubbed in the hands of parents. So many times my spouse income, what and how we will see. But when others income is added in my income and I have to pay tax, it is called as clubbing of income. Followed, right? Yeah, headwise it will be. If minor's rental income is added for the worst case, जो भी होगा other source या house property, जहां जो होगा, income will be clubbed. Is it clear to all of you? So pay attention now. Write what I'm making you write. 15 minutes of writing, half an hour's concept, and then all the problems. अच्छा मैम, how do they ask clubbing of income? ये तो पूछा नहीं. सबसे पहले यही पूछे, आएगा कैसे मैम? Then definitely either total income will have one or two clubbing of income bits, 14 marks question, or clubbing is going to be covered in MCQs, or separate, they are asking 3 bits. Okay, what income is going to be clubbed? So weightage of this chapter is 3-page chapter, 4 marks. And you know, it's very painful when you know clubbing super well and something you don't know the choice of the question. We'll discuss someday else. अभी शुरू करते हैं ना notebook, clubbing of income. Write down with me, clubbing of income. This concept is fitted so well by writing. And until now I was telling you, dear students, chargeability section 15 for the salary and 22, वो सब कुछ अभी नहीं है. Importantly, let us start with section 60. Section 16 says, if A transfers asset, see this is case study based chapter, तो जल्दी से लिखो मेरे साथ. A transfers asset to, not asset, income. A transfers income to B without transfer of asset. These are the cases. List where clubbing is going to happen. I know some of the students are, ma'am, it's a fast track batch, read from your material and quickly go to the problems. That's where you are losing the marks. Concept has to be studied very slowly and fitted in mind. So A has transferred income to B without transfer of asset. Then this income is taxable in the hands of A. How? A is owner of house property. Rental income, A is saying to tenant, A has given the house property on rent to a doctor. He's saying to tenant, tenant give the rent to my sister B. Okay. So A is saying कि मेरे sister B को rent दे दो, and B is going to pay her college and education fees out of that. Who is the owner of the property? A. Who is getting the rental income? B. Still this income will be clubbed in the hands of A because he has not transferred the property. He's just transferring the income. Ma'am, is it called as diversion of income? Yes, absolutely correct. Prime Minister Sir is coming to Hyderabad and the routes are diverted. वैसे all income is clubbed in my hands. Let me say rental income, give it to my sister. Share trading का income, give it to my mother. ऐसे थोड़ी होता है. If I am the owner of the house property, rental income will be taxable in my hands. And I cannot say, where is the income? I have not received the income. My sister B received, she has paid her college fees out of that. No. So when you transfer the asset without transferring the income, it's going to be taxable. Section 61. Section 61. Okay, right. This time, Raj transfers asset to Simran. राज ने असेट सिमरन को ट्रांसफर कर दिया, तो इनकम फ्रॉम द असेट शुड बी टैक्सेबल इन हुज हैंड? सिमरन. बट इट इज अ revocable transfer. You all know what is a transfer? Raj is saying, Simran, I'm going out of India for 3 years. Keep these shares. Whatever income you get, you enjoy. After 3 years, I will take back. So when you are having revocable interest in the asset, that means you are still the deemed owner of the asset. And this income is taxable in the hands of Raj. 1% also theory is not there in this chapter. Pay attention. These are all stories, and like this only they will ask in exam. So section 61 says, even if you transfer asset, shares, land, building to Simran and say that I will take it after 3 years, that means it's a revocable transfer. It will still be taxable here. If it is irrevocable, if it is irrevocable, if it is irrevocable during lifetime of Raj. Raj is saying, till I'm alive, this asset belongs to Simran. After that, take it back and give it to my son. But Raj is the not getting back, no? Then income will be taxable in the hands of Simran. I know I'm teaching little law-like, but this is what it is. Raj has transferred asset to Simran. If it is revocable, income is taxable in the hands of Raj. If it is not revocable during the lifetime of Raj, It is taxable in the hands of Simran. Clear? This is section 61. This is given in 62. Don't pay much attention to the section. If you remember, fine. If not, it's okay. Now, here comes section 64(1). Are you all writing? Spouse. Do you all know what is the meaning of spouse? For husband, wife. For wife, husband. Is what? Spouse. Okay. Now, Mr. Ramlal. Mr. Ramlal is working in a company or partnership firm where Mrs. Ramlal, spouse, is getting salary, remuneration, commission, and she is not qualified. Are you getting? Ramlal is working in a partnership firm as a partner, or he's in a company director and all. So where he's having major interest, and in that same firm, Mrs. Ramlal, spouse, she's getting salary, commission, and remuneration. Say Mr. Ramlal's partnership firm are giving salary to Mrs. Ramlal as accountant, and she never comes to firm. She's not even a BCom qualified. Then whatever salary is received, salary तो किसको मिला है? Salary received. See, these are called as mind maps and very, very helpful. One day before exam, just in 10 minutes, if you can scroll through these booster notes. Have I given you these booster notes in salary also? एक या दो जन नहीं पिक्चर क्लिक करके भेजे. There are so many of you attending live now. Why don't you click the picture and send me? That will be a Guru Dakshina. You know, it's live classes free in YouTube. I'm not charging anything. इतना छोटू सा demand. Can you write it? Don't bother about your writing. जिसको जगल करना है वो कर लेगा. But you send it, please. That will motivate everyone. One day before exam, you can scroll so fast. I always take name of my students, Anchal Agarwal, Shubham Agarwal. They have made a sketchbook with Dipti ma'am's booster notes, and then they cleared with exemption CA final also, and they give it to so many of their friends also. So not boosting, but this is helpful. Dekho. So Ramlal is giving salary in the firm. Who is receiving the salary? Salary received by Mrs. Ramlal. Is she qualified? Qualified? Hai agar. Okay, can she receive the salary? I am a chartered accountant. Can I get salary from my firm for filing the GST return and all? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. Right? If she is qualified, yes, then taxable for Mrs. Ramlal. ठीक है? Mrs. R करके मैंने लिखा है. Not qualified. She is not qualified. Just gross salary is giving, then taxable in the hands of Mr. Ramlal. आ जाओ, बात खत्म. Write down. Shall I pause? I don't know how much you trust a teacher, but if you trust, you will surely get results. मैम आप फिर डांट रहे हैं. पता नहीं आज डांट लगाने का मूड है. I felt disappointing. ये पढ़ूं वो पढ़ूं. अरे I'll give you ABC analysis. पहले पूरा तो पढ़ो अभी तो. I can't say how much are all the skills and knowledge required to move ahead in life, not your degree alone. Agreed or not? So Ramlal is a director in a company, is a partner in a partnership firm where spouse, Mrs. Ramlal, she is getting salary and remuneration. Is she qualified and she is getting salary? Then no clubbing. No clubbing. Income will be taxed in the hands of Mrs. only. But if she is not qualified, it's going to be taxable in the hands of husband. Some of you come with a different mindset. Deepti ma'am, it's a crash course, fast track, फटाफट वाला काम ही नहीं है यहाँ. If you want result, few things you need to write. Chalo. Let me go to the next section. We have completed 64A. Now, most important, this one, if you can remember the section. Okay, sorry, in spouse, one more aspect is also there. If she is getting the salary, let it be clubbed in the hands of the husband. And there is that proportionate capital. If both are qualified and both are getting salary, then no problem. If both are unqualified and both are getting salary, income will be clubbed in the hands of husband or wife who is having highest income. Now, section 64(1)(a). See what I am teaching. Income of minor. Income of minor child. You all know up to 18 years, income of minor is clubbed in the hands of parent. But now first thing is which income? Income from talent, skill. Like we have this show, no? Sony TV पे कौन सा आता है? Indian Idol Juniors. And they are getting 25 lakhs prize and all. That is their talent, skill. So many small children, they do such a wonderful acting or mimicry and they get income. Okay, this income is not clubbed. Ma'am, if it is not clubbed, then who will file the return? Separate return of minor. Who will file the separate return of minor? Parent. As how? Representative SSE. Representative. Parent will sign their return and minor's return will go separate. Can you get a PAN card also for minor? Yes, few cases it is given. This is one of the case. Yes. So if minor is getting income from skill, talent and all, don't club it in the hands of the parents. Okay. Other income. Other income. Clubbed in hands of parent. If you are not following my writing, I am dictating. Can you please comment in the live chat if you are able to write with me? Or ma'am, wait 2 minutes. Bolo. Other income. Clubbed in the hands of parent. Other income is clubbed in the hands of the parent. But whose hands? 4 children. We are actually 4 sisters. Can we say 2's income will be clubbed in the hand of fathers and 2's income in mothers? ऐसे होता है? अरे नहीं होता है. So clubbing in the hand of parent. Who is having highest income before clubbing. So in exam, they will give you both the parents' income, husband and wife. Husband is working in a company, wife is a principal in a college. So whose income is highest? In that income, all the minor children's income. Ma'am, 4 daughters' income clubbed in the hands of father? Yes, till they become major. And this, who's having highest income, decide in first year. Ma'am, last year father was having highest income. All 4 daughters' income clubbed in the hands of the father. This year mother is having highest income. Now, array no change. Once clubbed in the hands of the father. एक बार जो ट्रेन में बैठ गए चलो समझ में आ रहा है. So first decide husband and wife mutual. Yeah, can husband and wife also do mutual clubbing? ये वाला yeah. So husband's income, wife's income, add करके put a line across and see whose income is highest. Father's income. Club minor's income in the hands of father. Every year now fathers. Now next year don't make a choice. Clear to all of you? So glad to see so many of my students teaching in colleges and following this. If you are also feeling that someone who is teaching also needs this conceptual knowledge to enhance the teaching skill, please share it with them. Enough, God's grace, I have learned, now it's time to pass on. That's the objective. Chalo. So minors income is going to be clubs. Okay. In case of divorce, अब डिवोर्स के लिए आपकी बुक में अच्छा लैंग्वेज यूज किया है. इन केस ऑफ अग्रीमेंट टू लिव अपार्ट. ओके, देन नो क्लबिंग. Parent who maintains minor child. The parents who maintains minor child, income of minor clubbed. Are you all with me? If it is a case of divorce and the child is living with mother, maintained also, ek baar ke liye the father gave him the alimony amount and all, and now mother is maintaining the child, child is staying with mother. So income will be clubbed in the hands of mother. Clear? For every minor child. Of course, minor child will include stepchild, adopted child, married minor daughter. Minors are not allowed to get married. But ek baar exam mein they said if it's married minor daughter, will the income still be clubbed in the hands of the parent? Shadi ho gayi ab. Yes, because she's mine. For every minor, parent will get exemption. Exemption means up to a limit minor's income is exempt under section 1032 up to rupees 1500 per child for all children. If I don't make you write all children, you will say, ma'am, 1500 per child for 2 children. No, we are not in salary chapter. 4 sisters income clubbed in hands of my father. Father is going to get per minor child 1500 exemption. I know it is like peanuts. Since I was a student 97 98 तब भी उतना था, अब भी उतना है. तो क्या कुछ inflation हुआ ही नहीं? 100 index has become 348, but this 1500 has not changed. It should be at least 15,000, right or not? इसको 5 star खिलाओ, KitKat खिलाओ, and MCQs के लिए eclairs भी खिला दो, सब खिला दो. I want you all to learn this section. If you want, you write it with different color. 2 seconds, huh? Dear students, please wait. Thank you for waiting. Yes. 5 star खिलाए इसको. डेयरी मिल्क खिला दिए, ठीक है. So for every minor, the parents' income wherever clubbing is done, 1500 per child, it will be exempt under section 1032, and this is so much asked in MCQs and your case studies for CA students. Can't say that important. This is minor's income. Clear, right? Okay. Now 4 cases, last 5 minutes and then we are done. I said 15 minutes, but 20 minutes we have taken. ठीक है, लेकिन अच्छे से हो गया. Literally, if you have written with me, you will never forget. 4 out of 4 marks are yours till CA final. My students say how strong their base is. Now section 61 clause 1 और ये 4, ये सब याद रहे तो ठीक है, नहीं है तो no problem. Okay, right. Now what is happening is Mr. Arhan. Okay, right, what he did, Arhan has transferred asset to spouse, Mrs. Arhan. I'm always giving Mr. to Mrs. It could go reverse also. So Mr. Arhan has transferred the asset to spouse, Mrs. Asset, without adequate consideration. Now I am giving you the name without adequate consideration ka. nickname is gift. Husband is giving asset gift to wife. अब husband wife को ही gift देगा ना, right? तो husband is giving necklace to wife. Husband is giving, and long back when we were student, this case study was very famous that Anil Ambani gave to Tina Ambani a yacht boat on his birthday, which they were using for birthday parties and weekends and all. As long as they use, no problem. But if there is any income from asset, this asset is going to be, this income is going to be taxable in hands of Mr. Arhan. How is the concept? Husband has gifted asset to wife. Gift karo na. You gift necklace to wife, you gift diamonds to wife, you gift any asset to wife, no problem. As long as she's using and enjoying, no problem. But if you give necklace and she starts giving it out on rent, she's getting rental income, then that income is going to be clubbed in the hands of husband. Clear? Right? Same way, section 64(1)(6). I know these are like, clubbing is never touched since years. So I am also saying don't bother. Clubbing के पूरे chapter में एक ही section important है, section 1032. Top पे लिख लो, खत्म कर दो. Now, section 64(1)(6). Okay. Right. Here what has happened, that you have transferred the asset to son's wife. You know what is son's wife? Daughter-in-law. Mr. Arhan has transferred asset to daughter-in-law, son's wife. Okay? Same. Income clubbed in hands of Mr. A. Ma'am, what about if Mr. Arhan transfers asset to son? Son is not covered in clubbing. Usme chalega. I know I told you earlier, this chapter is not touched since years. So now two things are going to be clubbed. Any asset transferred to spouse, income therefrom is clubbed in the hands of husband. Any asset transferred to daughter-in-law, club. Now here two more exactly linked sections are added. Section 64(1)(7) and 8. 7 says that Mr. A, Arhan, transferred asset to a third person. You know, Mr. Arhan has transferred the asset to a third person. Example, to a private trust or anywhere where the beneficiary is Mrs. A. Directly if the husband is transferring the asset to wife, it's taxable. So husband transfers the asset to a third person, private trust or something like that, where the main beneficiary is wife. Then also income received by wife clubbed in the hands of husband and of Mr. A. Same way, last one, then the topic is only over and we are going to how to solve problem, madam. करेंगे ना, थोड़ा patience रखो. ये देखो. If you transfer directly to spouse, whatever asset, as long as she is enjoying, no problem. If she is transferring, it has become taxable. If you transfer to daughter-in-law, taxable. If you transfer to a third person, you know, an association of person or to a person where the main beneficiary is wife or the daughter-in-law, then same. Abhi, these two are linked and these two are linked. Dekho. Mr. A has transferred asset to a beneficiary. Oh, sorry. To a third person. AOP hai, kuch to hai. Where the main beneficiary is daughter-in-law. Then income is clubbed in the hands of Mr. A. At a glance, in 5 to 7 minutes, you'll be able to revise this. If my half an hour sketching is worth it, मैंने drawing का exam दिया है, elementary intermediate का, so then please comment below. Done? Everything is clear. Chalo, फिर से let us revise. Clubbing of income says, if you transfer income to someone without transferring the asset, that is clubbed. If you transfer the asset, but in that asset you still have interest, it is revocable. Revocable means anytime you can take back the asset, so it's your asset. Just for the namesake, don't say, हाँ ले लो तुम्हारा ही है. But you are having interest in that. That income is going to be clubbed in the hands of Raj. Now husband has not transferred any asset, but husband is working in a firm where spouse is getting salary and remuneration, or wife is working in a firm where husband is getting salary and remuneration without any qualification. Then that income is going to be clubbed in the hands of husband. Okay. Now minor's income will be clubbed in the hands of the parent, who is having highest income in the first year, except if it is skill and talent, no clubbing. Except in case of divorce, whoever parents maintains in their hands, it will be taxable. And isko 5-star Kit Kat sab khilao. If this doesn't come in exam, no, tell me. Either literally computation of income, minus income there, or MCQs or case studies. Every minor's income clubbed in the hands of the parent under section 1032, exemption will be given. I said up to 1500. Minor's income clubbed is 700. Dipti ma'am said 1500 exemption, 800 loss. ऐसे नहीं होता. Up to 1500, 700 club, 700 exempt. 5000 club, 1500 exempt, 3500 taxable. For how many children? For all children. See, wherever I am putting extra taglines, no, ye, these are the normal doubts of students. So can I say after attending this class, you will not have any doubt and still you solve CA, CMA, CS, any study material, RTP, MTP, any other academies material. If you come along a question where you are confused, click the picture and send me in Telegram. Wait for 24 hours. I'll surely clear it with a voice note. ठीक है? Chalo. Once again, husband has transferred asset to wife without adequate consideration. As long as she is enjoying, no problem. If she starts getting income, that income is clubbed. Husband has transferred asset to daughter-in-law, same. Husband transfer asset to third person where beneficiary is wife, same. Husband has transferred the asset to daughter-in-law. Okay, father-in-law has transferred to daughter-in-law. That income is going to be clubbed. Now, with this also I can start with problems, but there are two छोटू sections, उसको भी खत्म कर देते हैं. ये देखो, HUF की बात करते हैं, income of HUF. I enjoy this class so much because after elementary and intermediate exam, like sketching का time ही नहीं मिलता है. Thank you so much. You all are giving that opportunity for me to revise my sketching skills. Writing is not much clear. Yeah, plus point for you. Dipti ma'am का class ध्यान से सुन के लिखो. बाद में if I say okay, I'll wait and you write, you will not be able to write anything. साथ साथ में लिखो. Income of HUF. Now what is happening? This is an HUF. Okay, Mr. A is Karta. K I am writing Karta. Mrs. A and their son and their daughter. You know how HUF works? All are co-partners and Mr. A is the Karta. Now, Mr. A transfers personal property. This is asked so much in exam for 2 marks and I failed at 196, passed in all the subjects, 6 months more. I had to study and then become a CA. इतना painful है. तो ये 2 mark के importance को याद रखो. Mr. A transferred his personal property to HUF. Income taxable in hands of Mr. A. Are you all clear with me? Mr. A has one bungalow and he says, no, I am transferring all the rights to HUF. Now this bungalow belongs to HUF. He has thrown his personal property into common hodgepodge. This word is used in the exam. You can check past exam papers. He has thrown his personal property into the common hodgepodge. Now, when he is throwing his personal property into common hodgepodge, who is and this property, this bungalow, Mr. A is getting rental income. He gives for weddings and functions and all, and he's getting the rental income. So, ye rental income is going to be taxable in whose hands? Mr. A. Are you getting? If you just transfer the property to HUF without adequate consideration, oh, I missed the word, like gift. So you are trying to divert your income. So that will be taxable in the hands of Mr. A. Now, okay, if you want to add the word without adequate consideration. This my teachers have taught me. This is called as mind mapping. And if you can understand right from the beginning, 5 to 7 minutes, if you have a glance on this table, it will be clear. Now tell me. Acha, now what happened, partition of HUF. HUF का partition हो गया. So 1/4 share each will get, yes. Now Mr. A has transferred a property to HUF, and when HUF got partitioned, part of it went to Mrs. A. Are you understanding logically? Mr. A transferred the personal property to HUF, house, bungalow. Now bungalows, 1/4 share went to Mrs. A. Now this bungalow is put on rent. Indirectly, has Mr. A transferred the asset to Mrs. A? See, we have told you, husband can give to wife, no problem. As long as wife is enjoying, no problem. But she is getting rental income from the 1/4 share. This is going to be clubbed in hands of Mr. A. Clubbing chapter is like a traffic police. Whoever is caught up is caught up. Show your property paper, show your license, show your vehicle papers, show your pollution, show your insurance, done. Are you all with me? Clear or not? So many of you are attending live. If you're really understanding, share it with your friends. डर निकल जाना चाहिए. Clubbing के 3 mark 4 mark हमारे हैं. And worth it putting 2 hours. Now when I work out the problem, now you will do faster than me. Yeah, this material which I'm going to use for this compiler is available in Concept Classes app and Telegram. Concept Classes app, you can place order for hard copy. Telegram soft copy is freely available. You yourself can download and take a print, use it and score marks. Ting, ting, ting. आ जाओ वापस. फिर से एक बार. Mr. A, I will explain it orally. It's a beautiful case and asked again and again. Are you all with me? Mr. A has transferred his personal bungalow into HUF. Now, rental income of the bungalow is taxable in the hands of Mr. A because he's trying to divert his income. Done. Afterwards, the property is partitioned. So 1/4 part of the bungalow goes to him himself, Mr. A Karta. 1/4 goes to Mrs. A. So through HUF as a third person is Mr. A. As HUF, I want to repeat, Mr. A is transferring his bungalow through HUF 1/4 to wife. Husband transferring asset to wife, no problem. Wife can enjoy. And I am using husband to wife. It could be wife to husband, spouse. That's what we call in income tax. Wife is getting rental income. Rental income clubbed in the hands of husband. Clear to all of you? This is all the concept about HUF. Or the chote concepts. I told you with this only I can start doing the problems. But for once, check up some more concept is there. Okay. Okay. Mr. Beans. Example I am giving for accretion. There's a word called accretion used in exam. Uske liye I am giving an example. Mr. Beans transferred asset to Mrs. Beans. ठीक है? Mr. Beans has transferred asset to Mrs. Beans. Say, let us be very precise. Anything, jewelry or motor car ले लेते हो, ऐसे. Okay. And she is getting rental income. Say rupees 1 lakh. This motor car belongs to whom? Mr. Beans. He has gifted to Mrs. Beans. If she is using motor car for her rides, no problem. But she has given it out with a driver, Ola and all. She is getting rental income. This rental income will be clubbed in hands of Mr. Beans. Nice and clear to all of you. ये हो गया आपका 1 lakh. ठीक है? Right. Now, this 1 lakh, Mrs. Beans, she has put in FD. See, rental income is taxable in the hands of husband. But who is enjoying the rental income? Wife. So she has put this 1 lakh on FD. And now on FD, she has received interest, rupees 10,000. Is this going to be clubbed in the hands of Mr. Beans? Sab Deepti ma'am nahi padhate na? Use the live chat, comment below. Is it taxable? Arey, I'm waiting for your answers. Are you all following or not what I'm teaching? So this is given in a very income on income is not clubbed and accretion is not clubbed and that language they are giving. But is it clear to all of you? Mr. Beans has gifted asset to spouse. No problem. Till the spouse enjoys. Now, if the spouse has received income, that income is going to be the clubbed in the hands of husband. But spouse, she has put it in FD and she has received FD interest. Can I say FD interest is income on income? Wife got rental income and on that again FD income. This is not clubbed. Income on income is not clubbed. Income on income is not clubbed. Clear to all of you or not? इसको एज ए डायलॉग लिख लेना चाहिए. Income on income is not clubbed. So many times, suppose I have transferred 1,000 shares to my husband. So shares pay whatever dividend is received, that will be taxable here. But on shares, you have got bonus shares, accretion to the transferred asset, it is called. You have received what? Bonus shares. Will that bonus shares also, income on the bonus shares also clubbed? Not clubbed. If there is any accretion or addition to asset, no clubbing is done. Clear to all of you? Right. Only one concept I have not covered, that's cross transfer. I'll cover. You want time to write this? Should I wait? Then say wait. If not, let us move. Nowadays, expression is missing. However well the students will understand, they will not comment. I don't know why. That golden silence. चलो ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. हम आगे करते हैं. Shall we start reading very quickly? Yes. I was in 115 BAC to give you the comparatives. Now directly we are going to clubbing of income topic. Clubbing of income topic after your income from other sources. Deductions we are going to do very nicely. One concept, one problem, especially ATC, DTTA. I'll give you ABC analysis in the next month. I hope that's okay. Tomorrow, like this, I will give you nice diagram for set off and carry forward also. It will be covered in one single class. This is what I have taught you. One second, dear students. Please read it on your own. Income of other persons included in SSE's total income, that's what it is called as clubbing. If income is transferred without transfer of asset, it will be clubbed in the hands of transferor. Section 61. In other hand, if it is a revocable transfer, such income will be clubbed in the hands of transferor. What do you mean by revocable? You have a power to take it back, right? But this revocation will not be valid in case if it is irrevocable during the lifetime of the beneficiary. Okay, lifetime for me or for जब तक आप हैं आप रखो बाद में वापस दे देना. Then also it will not attract the clubbing provisions. Okay. Now, section 64(1) income of spouse. If salary commission is paid in the firm in which individual has substantial interest. What is substantial interest we will see. However, where remuneration is given solely with the technical or qualification and all, no clubbing. Both husband and wife have substantial interest and both are in receipt of salary without any qualification, then it will be clubbed in the hands of husband or wife who is having greater income, right? Individual shall be deemed to have substantial interest in a concern in case where company and all where he has more than 20% voting right, or where he himself or his relatives have more than 20% share in profit. समझ में आ रहा है? Individual should have substantial interest in a company. So company में how will he have substantial interest? More than 20% shares he is having, voting right. And their wife is getting salary remuneration without qualification, income is club. Or if it is a partnership firm and A is having more than 20% profit share, then also same. Clear to all of you? So when husband is having substantial interest in a firm and wife is receiving salary remuneration without any qualification, that income will be clubbed. Yeah. When asset is transferred to spouse, otherwise than for adequate consideration in connection with agreement to live apart, that is in case of divorce, then income arising from such asset, it is not going to be clubbed. Followed? Where asset is transferred to spouse, otherwise than for adequate consideration or an agreement to live apart. So the language is negative, like if it is for agreement to live apart, then there is no clubbing. Okay. And this is a very nice example. Twice they have asked question for this. So this part I will take separately. It's called as capital contribution. इसको थोड़ी देर रुक के पढ़ेंगे. Now minor's income. Minor's income is going to be clubbed in the hands of the parents. But first of all, it will not be clubbed if the minor is getting through his skill, knowledge, talent. Now, if minor is suffering from disability, oh sorry, I missed out saying this point. Even if the minor is suffering from disability, you go to government doctor and he certifies that hearing problem, blindness, or any physical part not working, walking well, whatever it is. So if the minor is a disabled minor, then also income will not be clubbed in the hands of the parent. Minor will file his separate return, parent being representative, and he can claim a deduction in 80U. Ma'am, what is 80U deduction? I have not taught you. Next time when you come and read after deduction, it will be clear. 80U deduction is basically for minors, not minors, sorry, disabled. So if the minor is getting income from talent or minor is disabled, right, then it will not be clubbed in the hands of the parent. Now where the marriage of the parents subsist मतलब ठीक है दोनों parent हैं तो income of minor will be clubbed in the hands of income before clubbing whose income is greater, that too in the first year. Subsequent year same income. ये सब मैंने आपको पढ़ा दिया. Where the marriage of the parent does not subsist, it's like divorce, then minor's income will be clubbed in as a parent who maintains the minor child. And for every minor child under section 1032, 1500 exemption will be given. This exemption is not available under the default tax regime. Today I started my class from there. If you're filing a return in 115 BAC, you can't claim this. Okay. Child includes stepchild, adopted child, married minor, daughters. Now, asset is transferred by individual to spouse, then income is clubbed. I told you, no? Asset is transferred to a person or association for benefit of the spouse, then also clubbed. Asset is transferred to son's wife, daughter-in-law, clubbed. Asset is transferred to an association where the benefit is going to daughter-in-law, club. हो गया? Exactly what I have given you the flow charts. That's how I'm doing this. Income of HUF. Really, if you feel I've got earlier also feedback, but if you really feel that 1-2 hours में पूरा clubbing खत्म हो गया and total income problem and MCQs, it's going to be very clear now, then please comment below and share it. Thank you. Income of HUF, where member of HUF has converted or transferred self-acquired property for inadequate consideration, gift, into joint family. See, this language is given in exam. Or thrown it into common hodgepodge. Income arising therefrom is taxable as income of the transferor. If the converting property subsequently partitioned among the members of family, income derived from such converted property as received by spouse, whatever part is received by spouse, it's going to be clubbed. Now, income of transferred asset is clubbed, but income earned on investment of that income is not clubbed. Just now I told you. I have given car to spouse. Spouse got rental income of car, club in my hands. But that rental income she has put in FD and FD interest, वो club नहीं होगा. Rajat gifted Mrs. Rajat. She gave it on rent. Rental income of 10,000 clubbed in the hands of the husband. But Mrs. Rajat invested this 10,000 rental income in FD and got 1,000 interest. That will not be clubbed. Clubbing of income, not income on income. Income of asset transferred is clubbed, but if there is some accretion is a hi-fi name for addition. Yeah. So then that addition is not going to be. Vijay has transferred 1,000 shares of Reliance Industries to Mr. Vijay. Wife has transferred. Income on the shares will be clubbed in the hands of Mrs. V. Later, Reliance Industries gave bonus shares. Bonus shares are not belonging to Mrs. V. That will belong to Mr. V only. Oh, this is so beautiful. Clubbing include losses. When I'm saying your income is clubbed in my hands, my spouse income is clubbed in my hands, then losses will also be clubbed, no? Correct or not? When income is clubbed, then losses are also clubbed. Simple. Oh, these points have gone wrong. 10th, 11th क्यों दे दिया इसको 1 2 3 नंबर देना था. 1 second, my dear students. क्रॉस ट्रांसफर्स बहुत थियोरी पढ़ लिए पर it is really very helpful once you study like this and now when you plan solve the problems, no, it's going to be so clear. Okay, what are they talking? income of asset transferred and cross transfers. Now, directly if I give the asset to my spouse, directly if I give the asset to my spouse, वो clubbing provision में फंस जाएंगे. So what we do is, I gift it to others, they gift, like, cross transfers where the benefit is same. So I think this will be very clear with the help of this example. Okay, Mr. Y, देखो, Mr. Y makes a gift of 5 lakh to his brother's wife. Mr. Y's brother, Mr. Z, Mr. Z and Mrs. Z. So Y gives 5 lakh rupees to Mrs. Z, which she makes FD, and she is getting FD interest. Who? Mrs. Z. Now, Mr. Z gifted to Mrs. Y 5 lakh, which she has invested in the property, and she has got rental income 60,000. Followed? So Mr. Z, see what relationship are covered. You can transfer gift to spouse or to third person for the benefit of spouse. You can give to daughter-in-law or to a third person for the benefit of daughter-in-law. Anywhere have they given in this the वो क्या कहते हैं उसको? What did I say? Did they give gift to son? No. Gift to brother? No. So Mr. Z gifted to Mrs. Y 5 lakh rupees, which she invested in property, and 60,000 income she has got, right? And see, these are brothers. So some of you may be thinking, ma'am, in income from other sources, you taught us that gift above 50,000 to unrelated person, his real brother, Y and Z. So that will not come. Now, in this case, FD interest will be taxable in the hands of Mr. Z. Dekho, listen carefully. Mr. Z directly transferring FD to Mrs. Z, तो FD interest clapped in the hands of Mr. Z. तो Mr. Z ने अपने brother को बोला, he told to his brother, you transfer. So though this income is received in the hands of the Mrs. Z, it will be taxable in the hands of Mr. Z. Same way, rent is received by Mrs. Y is taxable for Mr. Y. Mr. Y gifting direct property to wife, rental income will be clubbed. So Mr. Y said to brother, you gift 5 lakh property to my wife, I will give 5 lakh FD. Equation. So ma'am, how will we come to know that these are covered and like this cross transfer is there in clubbing? This is now when the cases are going to ITO and there's some link and it is very clear. Why would exactly same amount be gifted between two brothers, that to their spouse? Mr. Z wants to give 5 lakh to Mrs. Z only, but फिर वो FD add हो जाएगा. तो और wife has got a separate basic exemption. So that was the intentions. So transfers are so intimately connected to form a single transaction. Each transfer constitutes consideration for other by mutual or otherwise. So it's going to be clubbed. In the given case, FD interest will be taxable, and I hope clear. You can write this numbering as 1, 2, 3, 4 और इसको ठीक कर लो. और एग्जाम में लिखना है आपको क्रॉस ट्रांसफर. इफ दे आस्क यू दिस एग्जांपल, टेक योर टाइम, ड्रॉ दिस डायग्राम, ड्रॉ द डायग्राम. आई हैव लेफ्ट द गैप ओवर देयर, वहां पे डायग्राम ड्रॉ करो. Shall we start with the problems now? How problems are going to come for this? Chalo. Let us begin from the very first problem. Now problems are going to be very easy now also in the final exam. Always we compute income of one and other person separately. This is not a partnership account. that ma'am, can you compute income for my whole family? Mr. A, Mrs. A, son, daughter, column में कर लेते, partnership account थोड़ी है. So you have to compute Mr. A's income and tax separate, Mrs. A separate, son separate, है ना? But here, this is the only head where now, and in the exam, you are allowed to compute the income in the column form. Okay, so to get the clarity, what is the income of Mr. A, Mrs. A? Okay, minus income, where it will be clubbed. Clear to all of you? And directly the problem will start from FD interest. But you know that FD interest comes in fifth head. I don't know how many of you are aware of this. Even in accounts, when you start making balance sheet, the first thing they are giving is prepaid expense. Do you write it first? No, you know, first is fixed asset, then investment, then current assets in that prepaid asset. है ना? So clubbing of income problems, you can do it in column form, but maintain the discipline of every head like this and write least notes. I'm saying this little louder and clear in your study material. For every clubbing problem, dear students, they have given 5, 6, 7, 8 notes. Those notes are explanation for you. Study material is trying to explain to you, ki, okay, this is the concept, Baba, so this here is done here and this and this. You have understood, no? You don't have to explain to the value. So one or two things, yeah. The purpose of writing the note in the exam is something you have neither added in Mr. A's income nor minus income because it is exempt. That note you write in brief. Am I very clear? Huh? When I correct the mock test paper, I feel so bad. One for residential status and one for this. ये क्या है? क्या नाम है chapter का clubbing? Residential status also. Compute the income. 3 column. And then big explanatory going on from this half page to the next page. अरे what you are doing बेटा? Time चला जाएगा तुम्हारा ऐसे ही exam में. उतना सारा explanation की जरूरत नहीं. चले? Done. Let us do one problem, then take a break. And I will do quality good problems next. इसके बाद चलो. Okay, first problem I'm doing it orally so that you write all the columns and presentation, and then we will do it in writing also. Following details are furnished in respect of Mr. Y and his family members. Determine the gross total income. Okay, right. Now, income as a minor child artist. Who? 60,000. Now you know this income is not going to be clubbed. Okay. Business income. Mr. Y is into loss. Okay. Salary income from X Limited. Who has received Y? Mrs. Y. Where Y holds 25% voting right. Is it substantial interest? Above 20%? Yes. Okay. And Mrs. Y possesses BCom degree and works as an accountant. Oh, Mrs. Y is getting salary income, and this is a computed salary. Computed salary means don't give standard deduction. This is already not gross salary, it's computed. Now, Mrs. Y, she is getting the salary income in a firm where husband is having substantial interest, but she's qualified, she's working and she's getting. Is it to be clubbed? No. Share of profit. Share of profit. Mr. Y and minor can be a partner in a firm and they are getting profit share, but share of profit is exempt in the hands of partners. Now commission from AB. Who is getting commission? Mrs. Y. And they said Y does not render any services to AB and Co. Right? AB company में, oh, one line is missing. 1 second. हाँ, लाइन नहीं मिसिंग है. AB कंपनी में हु इज अ पार्टनर? मिस्टर वाई. मिला सबको? AB को में husband is up. See, there is lot of analysis to be done in clubbing and set off. When you solve the problem, it's not clear. So now you understand. AB company में Mr. Y is having substantial interest because he's a partner for 40%. Their wife is getting commission and she is not even working. Then this commission, is it going to be clubbed in the hands of husband? Yes. Interest income. All the three has received. Now minor, your talent income you keep, but your interest income is going to be clubbed in the hands of the parent. Oh, sorry, by mistake I did arrow mark. Pata nahi which parent is having highest income. Don't look and say, this is a loss and this is exempt. So actually, Mrs. Y is only having highest income. So minor's income will be clubbed in the hands of Mrs. Y. Clear to all of you? There are many googlies. So take your time. That's why I'm asking you all to make it possible to attend live. Because later on, if you have doubt, कैसे पूछोगे? There are sources, Telegram and all, but time लगेगा. अभी क्या अभी live chat is on. You can ask me. Interest income received by Mrs. Y is from an investment of 40,000. Oh, this is another point. ये बहुत important है. Star mark. Interest income received by Mrs. Y 5,000 is from investment 40,000 gifted from Mr. Y and 40,000 invested. Oh, so Mrs. Y, she has invested 40,000 her own and 40,000 gifted from husband, and she got this interest. So husband has gifted the amount, so that 50% income will be clubbed here, no? I have yet not taught you capital contribution. मैंने सोचा उसको अलग से करेंगे. उसके प्रॉब्लम बहुत आते हैं एग्जाम में, तो we will do it. But right now, is it clear to all of you? Huh? Minor's income. It will be clubbed in the hands of Mrs. Y because she is having highest income. But Mrs. Y, 5,000 rupees income, she has got on 80,000, 40,000 gifted by husband. So 2,500 will come here, no? Reading the problem is clear. Now let us start the question. Though they have given child artist income from talent and all is business income. So first we'll start with salary income. Who is receiving the salary? Spouse. Why? 30,000. And it's not club. Though she's receiving salary in a firm where husband is having substantial interest, still it is not club because she is working as an accountant. Now business income. Child artist, your business income you claim. Okay. Husband is doing some business and there is a loss. Then share of profit is a business income, but you have to write it exempt. Partnership firm paying share of profit to partners is exempt in the hands of partner, but you have to write a note or you have to write like this. Okay. Next is commission. Who received commission? Wife. In the company where husband is having 40% share and she is not giving any service for commission. So this commission income received by Mrs. Y clubbed in the hands of Mr. Y. All clear? Right. Now income from other source. Headwise income है. Interest income 8,000 खुद का. Wife का Mrs. Y. 50% here, 50% there because 50% was gifted. Now minor. Minor's income is clubbed in the hands of Mrs. Y, who is having highest income. Ma'am, but minor's income is 4,000. When it is clubbed in the hands of the parent, will the parent get 1032 में 1,500 exemption? Yes. So this is their final income. Take your time, check the problem, take a break, any suggestions, anything. Tomorrow, like this, set of topic will also be clear, and I'm doing some more problems and one very last but very important concept of capital contribution between partners is there. So stay with me with a 5 minutes. All right. Is this clear to all of you? See, minor's income is clubbed in the hands of Mrs. Y because she's having highest income amongst two. And Mrs. Y's income is clubbed in the hands of Mr. Y 50% because she got 5,000 interest after the clubbing. I mean, say both capital ko mila ke she has put 40,000 hers and Mr. Y's, and then she has got that income. Okay, right. Chalo. Let us take this up. The next problem. See, there are few problems. I want all of you to practice all the problems. And very interesting part is where capital contribution will come. You will follow it. So very nice problems are there. तो थोड़े ज्यादा problem practice कर लेंगे. See, this is a topic like clubbing. Last 1.5 hours you all are with me. Just spare 20 minutes more and it's done with me. You don't have to separately sit. Whereas business head and capital gain, you need to spare time separately also. Okay. Mr. A widower, has 3 children. 19, 17, 5. First child derives 1 lakh income. So this income is not going to be clubbed as the first child is major. The income details of Mr. A and children are given. Second and third child. So second and third child income ka column we will make. Business income, FD interest, bank interest, salary. So now those salaries written last and interest on salary. We will always start with salary. Mr. A himself has received salary 48,000. Child has received salary. When child has received salary because of the skill, this 24,000 income of second child will not be clubbed in the hands of husband, parent, because he has got the income of from this, what do you call it as, talent. So it will not be clubbed. Next is business income. सिर्फ मिस्टर ए का अकेले का है. ओके, ये हो गया, सैलरी हो गया. नाउ ऑल अदर सोर्स इनकम, income from other source. So first it is bank interest. All the three have got bank interest. So bank interest 7,000. Mr. A, it's going to be there, and 8,000. One second, one by one. FD invested out of gifts. Okay. Child has received certain gift. They have invested in FD, and on that FD interest. Child's income from talent is not clubbed, but FD interest will to club, no? 1,500. Dekho. Second child income to be clubbed 1,500. Okay. I've just written, sorry, 15,000 is to be clubbed. Next now 8,000, ये चाइल्ड का 8,000 इनकम है, तो ये भी क्लब होगा. नेक्स्ट, सेकेंड चाइल्ड हैज गॉट इंटरेस्ट ऑन सैलरी. Oh, this salary 24,000 belongs to second child, but on that second child has got interest. That interest income will come where it will come. So second child's 15,000, 8,000, 2,000, all the income is clubbed in the hands of the parent, but parent will get exemption under section 1032. So this is now 23,400. Own interest income 7,000, that you take, and minor's income you take. Now third child has got just 1,000 income, and that is nil. 1,000 income. ठीक है? Right. Okay. Other than this, interest on salary income saved. Mr. A saved his own salary and he got interest. So Mr. A's own interest will be to taxable in his own hands, no? Minors interest will be taxable here. Second minors interest will also be taxable here, 1,000. But now it is exempt. Why it is exempt? Because it is like nil. Up to 1,500 it is exempt. You got the income. Ma'am, why didn't you not club minors income in the hands of the Mrs. A? Mrs. A's salary only they didn't give. How do I do the clubbing? Yes. So these are, I hope you are getting, this is a practice batch, but I'm practicing by way of discussion so that you can read the problem and do the interpretation. Presentation is very simple. Presentation में कोई तामझाम नहीं है. We are not doing headwise problem where I need to teach you presentation. Okay. Mr. Don, income from business. Mr. Don's income from business is 90,000. Okay. Salary derived from educational institute by Mrs. Don. Okay, that's her own income, salary income of wife. Interest on company's company deposit. You know, you'd make FDs with the bank. Chota Don. Superb names by the typist. Chota Don. These deposits were made by Chota Don by his father's father about 6 years ago. Okay, some gift he has received and he has made FD. So this FD 12,000 will be taxable in the hands of husband or wife whose income is greater. So husband's income. So Chota Don's FD's interest will be taxable here 12,000 with 1,500 exemption. ये खत्म हो गया. Now sale of paintings and drawings by minor baby Don. She's talented. She's a child artist. She's a child artist and she's receiving income. So child artist receiving income. 1 second, those students. That income will not be clubbed in the hands of Mr. or Mrs. John. Correct? So what you will do now, child artist, she got income, child artist, 60,000. It will be taxable in her own hands. Minors return will be filed by parents as representative SSE. Now, income by way of lottery, earnings and all. Okay. By Chota Don 2, 6,000. Okay. So 6,000 is the lottery income. That's going to be taxable. Generally from lottery income, no deductions are allowed. But minors income clubbed in the hands of the parent. Will you allow 1,500 flat 1032 exemption? That's not a deductions. From lottery ticket ka cost, basic exemption, no deductions are allowed. But minors income, when it is clubbed in the hands of the parent, you will give an exemption. This is the total income of 3. Clear to all of you? Fourth problem I'll do little later. Fifth I want to do now. Mr. Dhaval and wife Hiral has following income. See, these are the questions asked for 3 mark, 4 mark separately. Now, whenever they say salary income is computed, when they say salary income is computed, means what? It is, you don't have to give standard deduction. It's not gross salary, it's taxable salary. Salary income of wife, it's going to be taxable in the hands of wife only, 460. Income of minor B who suffers disability. Minor who gets income out of talent and minor who gets income out of disabled. That income is not clubbed in the hands of the parent. Yeah. So 1,08,000. Minor के इसके लिए note लिखेंगे. Following income of minor shall not be clubbed if he is disabled or he is having income through skill and talent. So this is over, this is over. Now, minor daughter C is getting income through singing. So that is also not going to be clubbed. Ma'am, why didn't they make a separate column here? Minor, just last time you had made Chota Don and all. Because they've said compute the income of Mr. and Mrs. So just write down minor's income through talent is also not going to be clubbed. Yes. Income from profession for Mr. Dhaval. Mrs. H is doing salary, so she's getting, this one is having professional income. Now, cash gift received by C, minor daughter C, from friend on singing competition. So on singing competition, if she has got a cash gift 48,000, that is also not going to be clubbed. C. In case gift is received by C, since gift does not exceed 50,000, same is not included in the total income of parent. Minor has got gift and that gift is from a friend. Parents के friend ने minor को gift दिया, so it is from unrelated person, but it is less than 50,000, so not clubbed. Last, income of minor married daughter. I told you clubbing provisions are applicable to minor child, stepchild, adopted child, and married minor daughter. She has got FD interest. This will be clubbed 30,000 in the hands of parent whose income is highest, 750 or 460. So 30 is the other highest. And then exemption will also be there, 1500. So 7 this and this. Clear? Of course, you will made a third column also for minor if they ask you to compute the income of minor. Is it super easy or not, but not to be left worth giving 2 hours? I'm telling you, clubbing is a chapter where you don't have to study separately. Just study with me, complete it, finish it off. Okay? Right. Now, Rajiv has 4 children, 2 daughters and 2 sons. Annual income of 2 daughters is given and 2 sons is given. The daughter who has got income of 4,500 is suffering from disability. So if a minor is suffering from disability or minor has got income from talent, that income is not clubbed in the hands of the parent. Clear to all of you? Right. The daughter who has got income, तो वो club नहीं होगा. Rest all the 3 will be clubbed. What is income earned by minor child to be clubbed in the hands of Mr. Rajiv? Okay, right. Now see, look at this. First child, same exemption, income will be exempt. Daughter's income exempt, son's income exempt, this all exempt. Okay, right. 1500 per child, rest will be clubbed. Income of daughters having 4,500 shall not be clubbed. Okay, because she's disabled. So that's why it's not going to be clubbed. Next. This is a question from past exam for 5 marks. So check it. Is it okay if I'm doing like this? House property, business head, we have solved the problem in notebooks. There's a practice batch, not a crash or crash course ऐसे. लेकिन ये हम क्यों कर रहे हैं? Because the understanding of concept is important. Presentation is nothing. Club headwise income. Even if they give you FD interest first, you take it last. Always it will start with salary, house property, business head, capital gain, other source. Mr. A is an employee and he has got substantial interest in the company. His salary is 3 lakh per annum. Okay, 3 lakh per annum. Now, Mrs. A is working in that company at a salary of 1,20,000 per annum without any professional qualification. So spouse is getting salary from a company where husband is having substantial interest and she is not even qualified. Then that salary, Mr. A has a substantial interest and Mrs. A does not have. So this is going to be clubbed in the hands of Mr. A. Okay, right. Now, Mr. A also received 30,000 as income from securities. 30,000 as income from security. Income from security will be taxable under income from other sources. ये रहा, ठीक है? Mr. A has got. Mrs. A owns a property which she has given out on rent, 12,000. Mr. A and Mrs. A have children. Pehle, Mrs. A's house property income. How much it is? 12,000 into 12 GAV. Municipal tax, no information is given. NAV, standard deduction. Ma'am, they didn't say all this. Whenever you calculate house property income, you have to take this. Okay, right? So what is the house property income of Mrs. A? This. Mr. A's salary income. And Mrs. A's salary income is clubbed in the hands of Mr. A because he's having substantial interest and she is not qualified. Now, amongst two, whose income is highest, Mr. A or Mrs. A? Mr. A. देख के दिख रहा है, clear. Now, they have 3 children, 2 minor daughters and 1 son. Income of 2 daughters is, one second, dear students. Income of 2 daughters is 2000 per annum. So income of 2 daughters is 2000, but for every child 1500 into 2, 3000 the exemption. Are you getting? It's not income of the 2 daughters 2000 per annum for each. So for 2 daughters income is 2000. For 2 daughters basic exemption is 3000. Nothing is taxable. But even if it is taxable, it's going to be taxable in the hands of husband. See, I'm doing more problems for practice. So pay attention. If you have any doubt, click the picture, send me in challenges group or in Telegram. And that of his son is 1200. So वही हुआ, son की income में भी मिलेगा. ठीक है? Right. हो गया, problem ही खत्म हो गया. Now, you know, this is the presentation skill. I missed to put a line here. What they have done is Mrs. A's income and Mr. A's income after this clubbing do the total. Now, whose income is highest? That in that income, minor child's income is going to be clubbed. Here, one assumption is there, not clear in problem. But when they say salary is 3 lakh per annum, we assume standard deduction is given. It's not clear in the problem. Because if you give the standard deduction, then it will take more of like computed income and all. Are you getting? This I have just written. Don't write this and assume that it is computed. Because if you take it like this, then obviously from 3 lakh you are expected to give 50,000 standard deduction, which is not required here. So what we have learned in this problem is, first you compute husband and wife's income. Acha, wife's income clubbed in the hands of husband, that also you take, do the total. Now whose income is highest? A. So minor's income is going to be clubbed in the hands of the parent, who is having highest income after their mutual clubbing. Clear? Right. I think all the questions majorly we have done. And now the question of capital contribution. Capital contribution ke liye I want to explain with the diagram. All of you were there from the beginning. We have written some things. It's super saver. One day before exam, you have to revise GST, you have to revise income tax. You don't even get proper time, right? For CA exam, you have alternate day exam, but CMA exam, if you're writing 2 groups, तो कहाँ time है? So this clubbing chapter with this diagram, okay, this booster notes maps जो हमने अभी बनाए हैं, with this it will be very clear in 7 to 10 minutes. This topic you'll finish revision. ठीक है? Now I'm explaining the last concept in the clubbing, and that is capital contribution. Concept of capital contribution. Concept of capital contribution. Okay, right. Raj started a business. I know I'm giving an example, but it will be clear with the help of example only. Raj started a business on 1st April 2023. Okay, Simran, wife, spouse. I'm giving husband. It can be exchange also, like wife can start a boutique and husband giving. So Raj started a business with his own capital 3 lakh. Simran gifted 2 lakh capital or contributed. You can say contributed capital. See, if you learn like this with the help of diagram, आप लोग लिख भी रहे हैं साथ में, clear है? Simran contributed 2 lakh. Raj को कितना मिला? 3 लाख. Raj own capital is 3 lakhs. Simran contributed 2 lakhs. So what's the total capital he has put in business? 5 lakh. 5 lakh. Now total profit he earned during the year is 50,000. 30,000 profit will be taxable here. 20,000 profit will be taxable here. Simran is not doing business. Business is done by Raj. Simran doesn't even go to the store once. Raj has only opened showroom. Designer dresses showroom Raj has opened. He has put 3 lakh capital. Wife contributed. But is wife a partner? Please remember, this is not a case of partnership firm. Oh, wife is a partner, then capital contributed, then that's a different story. Wife has gifted, okay, from my side, keep 2 lakh rupees. So is this a transfer of the capital without adequate consideration of wife? Husband say 2 lakh rupees ka interest thodi legi. If wife has given 2 lakh loan, the story will only not come. They can ask you in exam. Simran gave 2 lakh rupees loan. Then husband will give interest, no problem, no clubbing, nothing. Wife is giving out of love and affection 2 lakh rupees capital. Oh, you're doing a great job. You're starting a business. And behind every successful business, wife support is there. She's giving 2 lakh rupees capital. Then income on the proportionate capital contributed. Yeah. Proportionate capital contributed, that will be clubbed in the hands of wife. Is this clear to you? Ma'am, if there is a loss bhi Simran ko hi milega na benefit. If there is a loss belongs to Simran. Simran is doing her own boutique business. There she can set off this loss. See, when I'm ready to club my spouse profit, I should be ready to club the losses also. Simple logic. So this capital contribution exam mein, if there is something time consuming like business head, something vast to read like capital gain, something is very easy where you should smile, get 5 out of 5 in 5 minutes and move ahead. I'm just showing you the concept. Abhi, when I work out the problem, it's going to be so easy. Whatever capital, yeah. But here one hitch is there, one glitch is there. If wife contributed, Simran contributed capital on 1st October 2023. No clubbing. See, they said that if the capital is contributed on the first day of the financial year, then on the profits proportionate contribution. If not now, it will be next year. Next year, if the capital contribution is there, no? So proportionate capital will be contributed. Take your time, write it. Any conflict in your mind, ask. Otherwise, immediately after doing the concept, we are going to apply it and solve problems. Yes. These notes, what we have written, these booster flowcharts, what we have made will help you to revise this chapter very fast. One day before exam. क्या मिस हो गया? लिखो fast, write it fast. 3 lakh capital, 5 lakh total profit. Proportionate, you can do it, no? In the ratio of 3 by 5 and 2 by 5. Maths आता है ना? और ये सब तो आपने लिखा पहले. Minors income and contribution. This one is most important. All the pointers which I gave for minor. Some of the students are, ma'am, your revision lecture is only enough. Revision lecture, I have not solved all the problems. और ये notes भी नहीं लिखवाए वहां सिर्फ revision thoroughly किया है. What's the difference in the revision lecture and this fast track batch? Revision lecture, none of the concepts I've missed. I've taken all the concepts, but concepts for repetition listening. Practice batches, do it in writing with. Last problem aa jao. Revati started a boutique with 3 lakh. on 1st April and husband gifted 2 lakh on 10th of April. So 22-23, no clubbing of income as gift is received on 10th of April. But how much he had the capital? Revati started boutique 3 lakh. 2 lakh husband se mila. And she earned a profit of 1,50,000. Gift though she has received, clubbing will not be there. Clear or not? In 22-23. So this year is over. How much is the capital now? 3 and 2, 5, 6,50,000. Okay. Now, next year, that is 23-24, she earned a profit of 3,90,000. Now, what was the capital on date is missing here, but Revati's capital, oh, it's there clear. 22-23, no clubbing. On 23, 1st April 23, Revati, how much capital you are having? Own 3 lakh, husband ka 2 lakh, and 1,50,000 last year's profit. So 650 is the capital. And profit is how much? 650 is the capital. And profit is how much? 390. So how much capital is gifted by husband? 2 lakh. See, on total 6,50,000, total profit in 23, 24. 6,50,000, total capital, total profit is 390. So on the gifted capital 2 lakh, how much is the proportionate profit? 120. This will be clubbed in the hands of husband. Though this 650 is the boutique income of wife Revati, but the capital is contributed by husband. So this is going to be clubbed in the hands of husband. Clear to all of you? Past exam question. Presentation you can do like this. No problem. Answer should be clear. Finally, how much clubbing is done. Like this one capital contribution problem I have given. This is there. पता नहीं कितने बार आ गया है वैभव वैष्णवी के नाम से. वैशाली वैष्णवी सब एक ही बात है. Vaibhav started a business with 5 lakh capital. Okay. He incurred a loss of 2 lakhs. Who? Vaibhav in 22-23. Capital as on 1st April 22 before gift is 5 lakh. To overcome, Vaishali gifted 5 lakh rupees more on 1st April 23. So first year Vaibhav did business alone 5 lakh and he incurred 2 lakh loss. Whenever you do a loss in the business, your capital is wiped off. Capital khatam ho gaya aapka. 3 lakh pe aa gaya. Clear? Now, in 23, what is Vaibhav's own capital? 3 lakh. Clear or not? 5 lakh minus the loss. So Vaibhav's capital is 3 lakh. And now Vaishali gifted how much? 5 lakh. 8 lakh. On this 8 lakh, he earned 4 lakh profit. 8 lakh पे 4 lakh profit. तो 5 lakh में कितना? Are you getting? टोटल कैपिटल 8 लाख में 4 लाख प्रॉफिट है तो 5 लाख इज कॉन्ट्रीब्यूटेड बाय वैशाली. उसका प्रॉफिट कितना होगा? 2,50,000 क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई. ओके एंड इट इज क्लियर. Followed or not all of you? First 22-23 no clubbing because she contributed in 23. But on 23 Vaibhav's capital is not 5 lakh. 2 lakh he has incurred loss. Whenever there's net loss, capital is wiped off. This is taught to you in accounts. तो हो गया 5 lakh का capital 3 lakh. फिर wife gifted 5 lakh 8 lakh. On 8 lakh profit is 4 lakh. On 5 lakh कितना? Right. If Mrs. Vaishali gave the said amount as loan, no clubbing provisions. If wife is giving loan, pay her interest. Very common. In husband's business, the first name in unsecured loan is wife and close family members and they are paying interest. No problem. If Mrs. Vaishali gave the said amount on 10th of April, then also no clubbing. Because you have to see the contribution on 1st of April. That's all for today. I know how much efforts I have made today, especially not only to make flowcharts, to make you understand and to make you learn also. So I feel, this is my feeling, that clubbing of income is over for you with me, provided after this pick up any one of the past exam paper and do the sum in writing with duration, click the picture and send me. That will be a gift from you to me, right? So we close here, and you all have committed this week Monday that isne bola na samjho ho gaya. Say what you mean what you say. If you're going to study for 4 hours, write 4 hours, and then be accountable ki kaise bhi karke. That aggressiveness, that attitude is required ki by hook or crook I will do this, whatever it takes. I'm not a CA or CMA, but whatever it takes, I will surely achieve my goals. And that end vision, that goal has to be clear. You know where you want to go. And that comes in the behavior. Whenever we take classes and all, I'm not boosting myself, but that professional attitude comes because always it is said, act, feel, behave as if. So if we are a professionals, we need to behave professionally. If you are a student, you are acting like that. You are working hard, but you know that in future, if you are a CEO of a company, will you waste your time? Will you waste your time on the comments? ऐसे किसी ने कुछ बोल दिया environment में, will you waste your time on the rubbish emotions? Okay, if you are being emotional, you want to give yourself to get time to get angry, go hide yourself somewhere, get angry, come back. थोड़े टाइम के लिए जल्दी से बाहर आ जाना, रोना है रो लो, कर लो. It's not wrong to acknowledge the emotions. How fast you can come back is important. So this is the values what I give to all of you, so that you have a beautiful mindset. More, if you feel that you can enhance your mindset with more of such skills, there's a course you can do it program in the Concept Classes app. You can check that more detail, right? See you all tomorrow like this, with notebook, paper and pen. We'll make a superb diagram in first 40 minutes, and then we will do set of carry forward questions, right? Bye all of you. See you all tomorrow. Keep commenting, even if